There's a massive FinTech company at the very heart of Europe's economy. One you've probably used today, maybe even a few times, but you've likely never even heard its name. It's not some flashy new app on your phone. Nope. It's the invisible infrastructure behind millions of your daily purchases. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Nexi. Okay, take a look at this logo. You've seen it, right? It's everywhere. It's so common on card readers all over Europe that it just kind of blends into the background. But what if I told you that this simple little logo belongs to one of the most powerful payment processors on the entire continent? This is a company that's literally hiding in plain sight. So let's start with the obvious part, the part we can all see. That logo you see on the payment machine, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. It's the most visible, tiny piece of a much, much deeper and more complex operation. I mean, just think about the last couple of things you bought. Tapping your card for a coffee this morning, high chance that was a Nexi terminal. Or when you clicked Buy Now on that website last night. Yep, Nexi's XPay gateway was probably the thing processing your payment in the background. They are that invisible bridge connecting you to the store in countless moments every single day. But here's where it gets really interesting. Even though you and I use their technology all the time, we aren't really their main customers. Not at all. Nexi's whole business is actually built to serve three completely different groups. So this is the ecosystem they've built, and it's pretty brilliant when you break it down. For merchants, they provide all the terminals and online gateways. But then they go a level deeper. They work with banks, providing the platforms that issue the very cards we all carry around. And that app on your phone? That's just the final user-facing piece of this massive puzzle they've put together. It's all connected. Okay, so they are everywhere. We've established that. But how does that turn into actual money? Let's follow the money trail for a second and see what's really driving this whole operation. This chart, this really tells the whole story. Look at that. Over half their income, 57%, comes directly from businesses and merchants. Another third comes from the banks they partner with. And the part that we see, the consumer side, it's just a tiny fraction of their business. The big takeaway here is that Nexi is, at its core, a business-to-business company, even though its logo is in front of our faces every day. So how do they get those numbers? Well, it's a classic game of volume. Every single time a payment happens, Nexi takes a tiny, tiny little fee. But they don't stop there. They're constantly upselling other services, like currency conversion, and they charge banks hefty fees for using their platforms. It's a business model built on taking a tiny slice of a massive, massive pie. This quote just nails it. This is probably the best way to think about them. It's like the pipes in your house. You never see them, you don't even think about them, but without them, nothing works. Nexi is that essential, invisible infrastructure that lets the whole modern digital economy just flow. And listen, you can't be the digital plumbing for an entire continent running on old, clunky tech. No way. This isn't your grandfather's banking software. This is a modern, intelligent engine that's built for the future. So what's their secret sauce? What makes their tech so powerful? Well, it really comes down to these four pillars. Being cloud native means they can scale up or down in an instant. Think of a huge holiday shopping rush. Containers make sure every little piece of their software works perfectly, no matter where it's running. And using APIs and microservices, that's like building with Legos instead of one giant block of concrete. They can add, remove, or change features incredibly fast. This isn't just tech jargon. This is the blueprint for a modern financial powerhouse. And all this amazing tech comes together in things like their Nova platform. Now, the key phrase here is data-driven. Because think about it. They process billions and billions of transactions. That's a goldmine of data. And we all know an AI is only as smart as the data you feed it. So by building this modern system to handle all that data, Nexi isn't just processing our payments today. They're laying the foundation to power the next generation of AI-driven finance tomorrow. We've talked about how they make money and the tech they use, but now it's time to really grasp the sheer, breathtaking scale of this company. So let's get into the numbers, and you might want to brace yourself. First up, merchants. They serve around 3.1 million of them. Just let that sink in for a second. From the tiny little bakery on your corner to the biggest department stores in the capital, Nexi's tech is the backbone for all of them. Their footprint is absolutely enormous. And what about the cards themselves? Well, through all their banking partners, Nexi's platforms manage roughly 140 million payment cards. That's not just a number on a slide. That's 140 million physical and digital cards in people's wallets and phones, all running on their technology. And when you add all of that up, you get to this number, 851.4 billion euros. That's how much money they process for merchants in just 1 year. To put that into perspective, that is bigger than the entire GDP of some countries. This isn't just a company, it's a fundamental pillar of the European economy. So where did this FinTech giant even come from? You'd think it was some new Silicon Valley startup, right? Well, you might be surprised to learn its roots go all the way back to 1939, founded by a group of Italian banks. The brand Nexi is actually super recent. It was only born in 2017. But after going public and merging with other huge players like SIA and Nets, it transformed into the pan-European titan it is today. Which really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In a world where money is basically becoming pure data, who really holds the power? Is it the banks? Is it the governments? Or is it the companies that build and control the invisible, intelligent plumbing that it all flows through? Who really holds the keys to the economy now? Something to think about.